guitar mods with Fabricaster. Although today's mod is not a guitar, it's a mod on an amplifier, the Epiphone Valve Jr, which is a 5-watt amplifier made in Asia that is very well constructed and especially easy to work on. Now I've chosen to purchase a kit by Bitmo Music, and the kit allows a number of different options. I chose, for example, the Bitmo Trio mod, which gives one a rotary tone control with a push-pull that boosts the volume. It includes a tone switch, which gives you high, mid, and then high gain. And lastly, I got a reverb dial. I've also decided to add a fourth control, which is the Bitmo attenuator. It's an attenuator control that allows me to push the tubes and thereby create high gain, but turn down the volume to the speaker so one can get normal volume levels in the house. Now this is what the Epiphone Valve Jr looks like before modifications. After modifications, we add the 2 dials plus the switch. If we look inside the amp, this is what it's going to look like after the modifications. On the left we have the reverb control, in the center we have the red gain switch, and on the right the push-pull tone control. Before we go any further, a word or two about soldering. Firstly, I strongly recommend that you get a lighted magnifying glass and an alligator clip stand. The alligator clip stand will act like a third hand. It'll hold the components while you hold the soldering iron in one and the solder in the other. For a soldering iron, I recommend something like this. This is a 25-watt hobby iron with a needle point. It has all the power that you need, and it's not going to melt anything, which was a problem for me when I started. I used this 40-watt iron with a broad tip, and I melted the tone switch, so I had to replace it before I could continue. Last but not least, your solder. This is rosin core solder, and this particular brand comes in its own holder, and it makes it easier to work with. First, we'll demonstrate the rotary tone control. With the dial turned all the way to the left, we get a bass sound like this. When we turn the dial all the way to the right, we get a treble sound like this. And the secret weapon, when we pull out the tone control, we get a substantial boost in volume. Hold your ears. This is what the amp sounds like with the gain switch in the upper position. It drops out some of the mids and the lows. Here are a few bars of House of the Rising Sun to demonstrate it. Demonstrate the Bitmo digital reverb called the Bitmo B-verb. I find that it sounds the best with the tone switch in the middle position. Here's what it sounds like without reverb. And when I turn up the reverb control, it sounds like this. Here are a few bars of me playing Walk Don't Run so you can hear the reverb in action. And now the piece de la resistance of the Bitmo kit, high gain. In order to achieve a real nice high gain, firstly, I purchased a JJ tube and swapped it out with the original Sovtech, and this does a real nice job, as you're going to hear. So we'll flip the gain switch to the bottom position, turn the volume control up to 12 o'clock, which pushes the tubes, and we'll pull out the rotary tone control, and it's going to sound like this. But first, I need to turn down the attenuator so we get a reasonable volume in the house and our ears don't bleed. And it's going to sound like this. So here are a few bars of Back in Black to demonstrate the high gain. Well, there you have it, the modified Epiphone Valve Jr. head. Thanks for watching.